sit down video. I feel like I haven't done one in so long, but I've been wanting to make this video for a while. A couple months ago I posted a video called My Teen Pregnancy Journey, and it showed kind of like an overview of everything that happened from when I found out I was pregnant until kind of recently. I was 17 when I had my son, and I had him completely on my own. Me and my boyfriend broke up about a week before I found out I was pregnant, so I've done it by myself, and I wanted to make this video specifically about what I personally chose for child support and custody and things like that. And this video, these are only my opinions. I don't think this is the only thing you can do. This is what happened, or this is what I chose because of my situation. If my situation was different, I probably would have chose something different, but this is just solely what I chose because of what happened to me, what my situation was in, and I don't think that those of you who have different opinions or chose different routes are wrong or anything. This is just what I personally found was best for me and my son and my family. So that being said, let's get started. So first of all, I don't really like calling my son, I don't like calling my ex his biological dad. I just don't like calling him the word dad at all because he's not Reed's dad, so I just refer to him as my ex. If you hear me say my ex, that means Reed's biological dad or whatever you want to call him, but he's my ex. So I found out I was pregnant a week after me and my ex broke up, and from the start, well, at first he told me, you know, I'll be there, whatever, blah, 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 and then about a week later he changed his mind, and since then I haven't heard from him. Reed's never met him, nothing like that. I haven't heard a word from him since I was pregnant. So with that being said, on Reed's birth certificate, I am the only parent listed. I did not choose to write his dad's name on it. I mean, I couldn't have anyway. If I wanted my ex's name to be on the birth certificate, he would have had to sign it, and obviously he wasn't there when he was born. It was just me and my mom and my sisters, so his name is not on the birth certificate. So with that being said, obviously he has no rights to Reed, and that's what I wanted. When I was pregnant, I kind of went back and forth, you know, like I was kind of dead set on the fact that, you know, my ex would be on the birth certificate, he'd pay me child support, he'd do this, but I was kind of set on that, but I was always like back and forth. And then right when I had Reed, I was like, no, I don't want anything to do with this guy. This is my kid only. I don't want any help from him. I don't want anything to do with him. So I don't get child support from him at all. Never have, never will. There's no visitation, no custody or anything. It's just I am the sole parent, and that's the way I want it to be, you know? I thought of doing the whole child support route, but just because of the guy that my ex is, he's not the best guy. You know, he's not the best person. He's done some really crappy things in his life, and I don't want that to be associated with my son, and I don't want, you know, him to be involved at all, and I don't want his money to be buying food for my son or buying clothes for Reed to wear or buying toys. Like, it's just an off feeling to me. I just don't want Reed touching things that his money bought, you know? I don't know, like I'm not like against child support for anyone or anything. It's just me personally, I don't want that. If I ever needed money, I would go to my parents or I'd go to anyone but him because I'm just not comfortable with it, you know? And I don't really know how to describe it. I'm just not comfortable with his money being used towards my son, because I don't consider Reed his son at all. He's only my son. No child support or anything, and custody is the second thing, and there is absolutely no custody or visitation agreement at all because he's not his father. Being that I'm the only parent listed, I don't need to have custody or like visitation agreements because I'm his only parent. You know, I'm the sole parent. He lives with me only. He doesn't have custody of anyone else, or no one else has custody of him. No one has visitation of him, and, you know, like, it's kind of really easy to describe, you know, no child support, no custody, but I wanted to share, like, my reasoning behind it. So obviously I told you why I don't want him to pay child support, and now for custody, I had, like, obviously, like I said before, I couldn't write his name on the birth certificate, but I could have taken him to court and had a court-ordered paternity test to have his name put on the birth certificate, and he would have to sign it unless he signed away his rights. But in Canada, I talked to a lawyer when Reed was about a month old, and in Canada it's very hard to get a dad to sign away his rights unless there's someone there willing to take them over. So like if I'm getting married, or if I was adopting Reed out, then if someone's there to take on those responsibilities, you can't sign them away. Or like no judge kind of will. Like, it'll be really hard to find someone who would agree to that. So I just didn't want to go that route. And my whole reasoning for it is that my ex, he's not a good guy. If I were to put these responsibilities on him, I know that he would use it against me, and he would try and do everything he can to make my life so hard and so difficult. And you know, in Canada and probably in the US too, I'm not 100% sure though, if I was to travel or to move or to do kind of a lot of things, I would need a signature and permission from my ex to move with Reed, to travel with Reed, and do all those kinds of things, which I am not okay with. I am not okay with asking someone who doesn't want to be in our life permission to do things with my son. You know, I'm not okay with asking him, oh, can I go to Florida with Reed? Because he could say no, and then I couldn't go. So I'm not ever okay with that. You know, I don't want to have to ask permission for someone who's not involved with us and who's not, you know, there and raising Reed. I don't think anyone needs his opinions about him except me. So there is no custody, there's no visitation, there's absolutely nothing. I've never told anyone except like the obvious, like my friends and family, the name of my son's father, because I don't need that in like writing or anything, because it could come back and haunt me one day. So there's no indication that he is his son. Obviously he knows it, a lot of people know it, but nothing like official, nothing legal or anything like that, because I did not want that to be a part of anything. So that's pretty much all. I mean, that's custody and that's child support, and my opinion is that for my situation, I did not want any part of either of them. After I had my son, I made that decision, and I am very happy with it. My life's a lot easier this way. I think it's a lot better. It's a lot more stable for Reed. And if I could go back, I wouldn't change anything because it's working out so well for us. That's pretty much all. So I hope you guys like this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.